Hello my dear students of class 7. Today we are going to discuss about the chapter 10, that is Antarctica. And though we know that if you look at the map, we are going to see that Antarctica looks very small in it. But today we are going to discuss its location of Antarctica and how the Antarctica is discovered, also the physical division, climate, and at last the vegetation of Antarctica. Now students, let's begin. So here comes first the location of Antarctica. As we see here that Antarctica is the Earth's fifth largest continent in the world. So it is the fifth largest, and along with the other continents that came first are Asia, Africa, North America, South America, and in the fifth position is Antarctica. It is located in the Antarctic Circle, a region around the South Pole. So as we know, our main latitudes are the equator, next the tropics, and at last the Arctic and the Antarctic Circle. So Antarctica lies in the Antarctic Circle, that is in the South Pole. Arctic Circle is in north and Antarctic Circle is in the South Pole. It makes up most of the Antarctic region. So in the Antarctic Circle, it all covered by the Antarctic region. The Antarctic region is defined by the Antarctic convergence, which means is an uneven line of latitude where the cold Antarctic water meets the warmer water of the world ocean. So here the Antarctic convergence is mean by a line of latitude where the cold water of the Antarctic Ocean meet with the other ocean water that are warmer than this. It is surrounded by the Indian Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Pacific Ocean. The southern margin form the Southern Ocean. So here we see that the Southern Ocean is formed by three major oceans, that are Indian Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, and the Pacific Ocean, that is in the southern margin. Now the Antarctica is a unique continent. So why it is called as a unique continent? It is covered entirely with 2000 meters of thick ice and doesn't have any native population. So what do you mean by native? The particular type of population that are living in a space or area. And Antarctica does not have any countries, although several nations claim that it have different parts of it. This continent is the coldest, windiest, and the most remotest part of the world. So here we see that this continent is coldest and windiest among all the continent present in the world, and it is the most remotest part of the world. So remote part means the area that is situated far from the main center of population. So as we know that it is located to the South Pole where the sunlight doesn't reach throughout the year. So for that reason the population, this area is far located from the main center of the population. The Antarctica ice cap store large reserve of fresh water in the world. So as we know, here the main fresh water is stored in the Arctic and Antarctic region, that are the two poles of the world. Now here we see how Antarctica is discovered. So during the 16th century, Antarctica was thought as a region of Terra Australia, which means a southland, and this is a Latin word. So in the 16th century, it is thought that this region is related with the southland. It is believed to be in the southern hemisphere, but no one had really explored. But in 1773, Captain James Cook has crossed the Antarctic Circle for the first time, but only discovered a few islands, but not the main continent or the main land. So here we see during 1773, Captain James Cook first crossed the Antarctic Circle but doesn't reach the main land. Since 1820, from 1773 to 1820, many expeditions were led to the Antarctica. So here we see that Fabian Gottlieb von Willingshausen and Mikhail Lazarev of Russia, Edward Bransfield of Britain, Nathaniel Palmer of United States participated in the expedition to explore the Antarctic. The heroic age of the Antarctica exploration gathered in momentum from the lecture of John Murray at the Royal Geographic Society of London. So here we see that the exploration of the Antarctica is started from after the lecture is given by John Murray at the Royal Geographical Society of London. He advocated that the research on the Antarctica will resolve a few geographical questions and queries related to the south pole of the earth. So here he described that if we are going to explore the southern poles, then few geographical questions and queries are to be solved in that period, and this led to the series of expedition for the Antarctica, and exploration in at 19th century and closed with Henry Shackleton Imperial Trans-Antarctic Expedition in 1917. Richard Elwin Byrd of US Navy first flew to the southern poles to study the interior of the Antarctica. So, who first studied the interior of the Antarctica? Richard Elwin Byrd of US Navy first flew to the south pole for the study of the interior of the Antarctica. In the recent year, due to the growing interest in the environment of the earth and its atmosphere, the study of Antarctica has gained importance. So here is the place, the Antarctica was the place where the ozone hole was discovered. Now we are going to see about the physical features of Antarctica and where it is present, what is its boundaries, etc. Now let's start the physical features of Antarctica. Antarctica literally means the opposite of the Arctic. So as we discussed before that the main latitudes among the Arctic is in the north and Antarctic is in the south. So it is the opposite to the Arctic. So that means the Antarctica word is literally means the opposite of the Arctic. It is almost circular in shape with the tip of the Arctic Peninsula extending northward towards the southern America. So as we see that this continent is almost circular in shape and the tip of Antarctica Peninsula extended towards the South America. The continent is almost entirely covered by the single largest ice sheet of the world called Antarctica ice sheet. And on the coastal region, the Antarctica have massive floating sheet of ice that are connected to the mainland. So these are called the massive floating ice sheet are called ice shelf. So here we see the two example of the ice shelves are Ross ice shelf and the Ron ice shelf are the two major ice shelf of Antarctica. Now we are going to discuss it in the picture of Antarctica. So let's have a look. So here we see in the picture of Antarctica, this is the Antarctic Circle, that is which means the opposite to the Arctic Circle, and here is the South Pole. So here we see that this is the Arctic Peninsula and which is extending towards the South America. So here is South America and the Antarctic Peninsula is extending towards the South America. Now here we see that the two examples of the ice shelves are the Ron ice shelf that is present here and the Ross ice shelf is present here, and after this there is Weddell Sea and the Ross Sea present after these two ice shelves. So here we see that the Trans-Antarctica Mountain divided Antarctica in the two parts that are Great Antarctic on the or East Antarctic and Lesser Antarctic or the West Antarctic. So now we are going to look at the Trans-Antarctic Mountain. So here we see this is the region of Transantarctic Mountain which divided the Antarctica in the two halves, that is the West Antarctic and the East Antarctic. So here we see that East Antarctica is of the greater region, so that's why it is called as the Greater Antarctica, and the West Antarctica as the Lesser Antarctica. Now we are going to discuss the Greater Antarctica and the Lesser Antarctica. So, in the Greater Antarctica or the East Antarctica is name suggested as it constitute of the majority of Antarctica. So, as we see before that the eastern part of the Antarctica has the majority of the Antarctica continent. So, that's why it is called as Greater Antarctica, and it has the higher altitude than the Lesser Antarctica, that is the Western Antarctica. It is made up of the older igneous and metamorphic rock. The Gambart-Steep mountain range is located in the East Antarctica, and it is believed to be roughly the same size as the European Alps. The East Antarctica ice sheet was formed from the glacier slide down from the Gambart-Steep range. So here we see that the East Antarctica ice sheet, mainly the ice or the glacier is formed when the snow slide down from the Gambart-Steep range. Now we are going to discuss about the Lesser or the Western Antarctica. Here we see that the Lesser Antarctica is made up of huge peninsula and an archipelago. So what do you mean by archipelago? A large group or chain of islands that is scattered on the sea or ocean. The majority of this island are volcanic and heavily glaciated part. So in this region mainly the volcanoes and the glacier are found, and they are the part of the Pacific Ring of Fire. So these islands, so archipelagoes there where the volcano and the glacier are found, are mainly the part of the Pacific Ring of Fire. And Mount Erebus, located on the Ross Island, is the southernmost active volcano on the earth. Geologically, this region is made up of younger volcanic and the sedimentary rock. So here we see that the Mount Everest region is mainly formed by the younger volcanic and the sedimentary rocks, and the Western Antarctica is located between the Ross and the Weddell Sea. So as we locate before the Weddell Sea and the Ross Sea, the Western Antarctica is located in between them. This region is almost entirely covered by the Western Antarctic ice sheet, and which is shrunk slightly because of the climatic change. So shrunk slightly means the ice are melted and this region are slightly became lower in elevation. And the coast of the Antarctic Peninsula form the Maryland Antarctic tundra, the only place that is the ice free during the summer. So here we see the Marylandia Antarctic tundra is present at the coast of the Antarctic Peninsula, and this is the only ice free place during the summer. There is an important point that is given here, that the Nunataks, that is a spectacular feature of Antarctica, is an exposed and rocky outcrop of a ridge or a mountain which is not covered by ice or snow. They are mostly found in the Transantarctic mountains, and the Nunataks are the home of the large number of birds such as snow petrels. So now we are going to see a picture of the Nunatak. So here we see this is the spectacular feature of the Antarctica, and which is the exposed rocky surface that are found on the mountain or the ridges, and which are not covered by ice, and these are mainly found in the Antarctic mountains. After this, we are going to discuss about the ocean of Antarctica, that is also called as the Southern Ocean. So, the Southern Ocean comprises of the southern portion of the Pacific, Atlantic and the Indian Ocean. So, previously we see that the Southern Ocean is mainly formed by the three oceans, and their southern portion is formed this Southern Ocean. So, the three oceans are the Pacific, Atlantic and the Indian Ocean. The narrow portion of the Southern Ocean between the Antarctic Peninsula and the South America is called as Drake Passage. The Southern Ocean has many seas such as Wellingshausen Sea and Amundsen Sea. So now we are going to see about the Southern Ocean in the picture. So let's have a look. So again in this picture we are going to see that the Southern Ocean is surrounding the Antarctica, and here it is the Drake Passage, and this is a narrow portion of the Southern Ocean that is located between the Antarctica Peninsula and the South America, and the Southern Ocean is formed by the three oceans that are Atlantic, and here is Pacific and the Indian Ocean. After this, we are going to discuss about how is the climate of Antarctica. So here we see that we know that Antarctica is one of the largest reservoir of the fresh water in the world. However, Antarctica is considered as the coldest desert and experience extremely cold and the dry climate. So why it is called as the coldest desert? Because it experiences the extremely cold and the dry climate. The precipitation is always in the form of the snow, so here prevails the very low temperature. For that reason, the only precipitation that occur in this region is the snowfall. The interior region of the continent receive only 50 to 100 millimeter of the snow in every year. So in the interior region only 50 to 100 millimeter of the snow occurred during the year, and the coastal region receive precipitation around 200 millimeter annually. Now the temperature during the winter and the summer season, that during the winter the coastal region have the temperature of ranging minus 10 degrees Celsius to minus 30 degrees Celsius. So in the winter season the coastal region experience this temperature. The maximum temperature in the coastal region is as high only 9 degrees Celsius. The mountain inland region of the Antarctica, the temperature is extremely low, dropping below minus 60 degree in the winter and minus 20 degree in the summer. So here we see that the inland region of the Antarctica is experiencing very low temperature, that is about minus 60 degrees Celsius in the winter and only minus 20 degrees Celsius in the summer. So here we see that in the summer season also the temperature remains below the freezing point. In the Antarctic Peninsula, the climate is comparatively warmer with the temperature above freezing point during the summer month. So, in the Antarctic Peninsula, as we locate the Antarctic Peninsula before in the pictures, the climate there prevails warmer and the temperature above freezing point during the summer month. So, in the Antarctic Peninsula, only the temperature remains above the freezing point. Now, in Antarctica, the summer season lasts from October to February, and the remaining month, that is March to September, is the winter season. So, the remaining month, that is March to September is the winter season. Now, during the summer, the average temperature stays just below the freezing point. So, Antarctica experience blizzard. So, blizzard means snowstorm. Blizzard means snowstorm. The wind picks up snow from the ground and blow, creating an illusion of the white blanket. The speed of this wind is about 300 to 320 km per hour. So that's why it picks up the snow and blows it all over as a white blanket. And there are three climatic regions. So now we are going to see the three climatic regions of Antarctica, that are the regions are the Antarctic region, the interior and the Arctic Peninsula. The climate prevails in these three climatic regions are, the climatic is the climate is comparatively milder with high precipitation rate, mostly in form of snow in the coastal region. So this is the climatic condition of the coastal region. Now in the interior of the Antarctica are extremely cold with a little snowfall, and the climate is comparatively warmer, wetter, above the freezing temperature during the summer month in the Antarctic Peninsula region. Now we are going to discuss about the flora and fauna, that is the plant and the animal kingdom. Now the Antarctica is almost devoid of any plant and animal, because as it is devoid, why? Because of the Antarctica is almost covered with thick layer of ice, that is ice sheet, throughout the year. The only vegetation that is restricted to the northern and the coastal region is the form of lichen, mosses, algae. The oceans surrounded Antarctica are, however, extremely diverse and swarming with marine life. Different kind of fish, marine mammals live in this ocean. Krill, a tiny marine creature, thrives in the water around the Antarctica. Diverse species of the whales such as blue fin, humpback, right, mink, sea and sperm whale are found in the large number in Antarctica. The leopard seal is also found in the coastal region, and it is an aggressive predator. So here the word predator means an animal that naturally prey on other animals. The penguin are the most common bird in the Antarctica, and they are the fastest swimmer. The largest penguin species is the emperor penguin. So the largest species that are found in Antarctica is the emperor penguin. Now we are going to discuss about the population of Antarctica. As we know, here it is mostly devoid of any plant and animal. The Antarctica also doesn't have any native or the indigenous population. So the native means the particular type of population found in a particular type of region. So as this region is devoid of plant and animals, this region is also not populated by any native population. It is discovered in the 19th century. A little was known as about this continent till then. It is known as the land of scientists. So why Antarctica is called as the land of scientists? Because the only form of the human habitation exists at the various science research stations. The Antarctica is the major outpost of many research scientists. The research field are vary from the global warming, climatology and astrobiology. So what does astrobiology means? The study of the origin and the evolution of the universe, extraterrestrial life and the life on the earth. Now the McMurdo station of the United States located on the Ross Island is the largest research station of Antarctica. So the largest research station of Antarctica is the McMurdo station. It has more than 80 buildings and operates like a small city. The base Esperanza of Argentina and the Davis Station of Australia are the important research center. In December 1981, Syed Zahur Qasim, an Indian marine biologist, led an expedition to the Antarctica. Qasim and his team sailed on board HMS Endurance and set up a Dakshin Gangotri, an unmanned scientific base station. So, along with the Bharati and the Maitri, it's formed for the Antarctica research facilities of India. So, in 1981, the Dakshin Gangotri is set up, and the Bharati is set up in 2012, and the Maitri is set up in 1988. So, first is Dakshin Gangotri, second Maitri, and the next one is the Bharati. Now, here we study about the Antarctic Treaty that is signed. The Antarctic Treaty was signed in 1951. So, what is its objective to signing the treaty? That is for the protecting of the environment of Antarctica. So, what is the objective of signing of this Antarctic Treaty? That is the protecting the environment of the Antarctica. It allows the nation of the world to carry out the scientific research and prohibit the establishment of any military base, testing of weapons or disposing of radioactive waste. There are 40 scientific research stations from the different countries in Antarctica, and this treaty was signed in Washington by 12 countries during the International Geophysical Year and came into force in 1961. So, what is International Geophysical Year? An international project in which scientists from all developed nations work together to conduct research on the earth science. So here we see that Antarctica acts as an open laboratory for the scientists to understand the earth better. So that's why this continent is called as the continent of science. So here is an interesting fact about Greenland, which is located in the Arctic Ocean. The ocean around Greenland is always frozen and the temperature of this region never rises beyond the 10 degrees Celsius. This region have many amazing flora and fauna, and among these are Arctic tents, Arctic willows, snow goose, bowhead whale are some examples. The Inuits are the indigenous people of this region and they refer themselves as a Greenlander. They are adapted to the cold and the icy environment of these regions. So here we covered the chapter 10, that is Antarctica, and that's all for today. Thank you.